Vivekachudamani of Shankaracharya, 255th verse. Yat param sakala vaga gocharam, gocharam vimala bodha chakshushaha, shuddha chidgana manadi vastuyat, brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. In this text, Vivek Chudamani, there are some verses which have a same refrain or the same last line. This text is very poetic. So here starts this portion where there are many verses which end with this sentence, Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. That is, meditate, Bhavaya, Atmani. Atmani here means in your mind. The word Atma can mean your body, it can mean your prana, it can mean your mind, it can mean several things. That is why we should follow commentaries written by great sages. So here we know that Bhavaya Atmani means mind. In your mind, Bhavaya, think, meditate that Brahma Tattvamasi, that you are that Brahman, you are that infinite consciousness without any limitations of space, time and causation. Yat param sakala vag agocharam. That which is supreme, yat param, that which is supreme, and sakala vak agocharam, and it is beyond all speech. Sakala, all speech, it is beyond all speech. Gocharam vimala bodha chakshushaha, and it is accessible to the bodha chakshushaha, to the eyes of illumination, eyes of knowledge. Vimala bodha chakshushaha. That means eyes of knowledge which is pure. Vimala. Mala means impurity. Vimala means lack of impurity, absence of impurity. Bodha means knowledge. As we have discussed here many times, knowledge, there are two types of knowledge. One is mediate knowledge called Paroksha Vidya, Paroksha Jnana, which is brought about by senses, and also which is brought about by knowledge, sense object, and also there are so many other factors, your mind, your nervous system, etc. Everything, if it is functioning properly, then you can see that there is somebody sitting in front of you. So that kind of knowledge, it is called Para Aksha Jnana. And here that knowledge is not talked about. Here the knowledge talked about is immediate knowledge, that is without any medium. Aparoksha Jnana. So Vimala Bodha Chakshusha. Vimala means what kind of impurity can be there in such knowledge? Any desire or any thought in the mind is an impurity. So people think that I wanted to serve the country, or I wanted to serve society. So this is a good thought. So this is not impurity. Any thought, whether it is good or bad, is impure. Any ripple or any vibration or any kind of thing arising in your mind is impure. Though Holy Mother says that in Kali Yuga, a mistake done in the mind, moner pap pap noy. Means if you do some sin, commit some sin. What is sin? Sin is essentially a mistake. So if you commit a mistake in your mind, it is no more a mistake. Earlier we read in Puranas, in the earlier ages, that a sage is thinking something and suddenly some person comes. Something is born because that sage has thought. So just thinking itself had such an effect. Because they used to speak truth. Nowadays we are so nicely speaking truth. So that is why Mother has also told, okay, if you do something wrong in your mind, that is no problem, because it is inconsequential. It will not bring any result. But even then, same Holy Mother says that even if you have a little, an iota of desire, you will have to come again to this world. Even if you have little desire. That means even the most minimum or the most least desire is an impurity. So Vimala Bodha Chakshusha means there will be no mind. That there will be mindless, not like we say mindless, but a state which is beyond mind. Beyond mind, a state where you have gone beyond mind. That state, there you have this knowledge, Shuddha Chit Ganam Anadi. And it is Shuddha Chit Ghana. Shuddha Chit Ghana. Chit Ghana. Ghana means embodiment. Chit Ghana means embodiment of knowledge, Chaitanya, consciousness. And Shuddha, it is pure. So, and Shuddha Chit Ganam Anadi. It is Anadi, it is without beginning. It is without beginning. Just like ignorance is also without beginning, knowledge is also without beginning. Only difference is knowledge does not have an end. Ignorance has an end. If you tell someone, or even if you think, oh, everything is ignorance. I was born because of ignorance. Okay. But how did this ignorance come? That nobody knows. And the point is, there is no point to know. Just like if somebody goes to a doctor and says, doctor, I have got this boil. Now will the doctor say, tell me the exact date and time when this boil came? It is of no use. This boil is there, it is causing suffering. Either give medicine so that it will eventually get erupted or whatever. Or if that is not possible, do surgery. But if the doctor says, no, you tell me exact date and time, like in milliseconds, when this came, this boil. That is what? It is of no consequence to know when this ignorance came. Because it is of no use. Knowing when this ignorance came, what will you do? How is it going to change the fact that you are suffering? The very knowledge. Now, if we talk or we tell or anybody thinks, you could be a householder, you could be a monastic. Just a person thinks, I am suffering. Nobody thinks like that. Just by coming to monastic life, you cannot think like that. People think, oh, I have come to monastic life, now I will serve Sri Ramakrishna, or I will serve society, or I will serve God, whatever. How many people can think actually that I am suffering? When you are being scolded, when you are being insulted, when you are not getting things, then everybody thinks, I am suffering. But when you are being praised, when you are being given reputation, when you are being given respect, at that moment we think, oh, it is so nice. It's a Maya Kripa. It's all the blessing of Holy Mother. So because of blessing of Holy Mother, no, that is more suffering. So true person who is on the path of God will be pained more on listening to praise. Because that is a more bondage. Because the probability of understanding that it is bondage does not exist. Somebody comes and tells, Maharaj, you are so nice, please guide me. And there will be always some people to do that. Once one speaker told very famously that in India, if you speak, if you don't speak, if you are a monk and if you don't speak, there will be 10 people. Mauni Babaji, pranam. Okay. Then if you know how to speak, then there will be 10 people. Oh, what kind of knowledge he has got. He is speaking nicely. And if you speak what in Bengali is called abul tabul, means you speak all nonsense. Even then 10 people will be there. महाराज कितने उच्च कोटि के साधु हैं. कुछ भी ऐसे उनका अपने आप बोलते हैं. So in India always you will get 10 people to listen to. And so you will think, oh, I have arrived. I have got some knowledge. And then you will be like, you can see always. That is why you see Ramakrishna mission, you are Swami. So it happens all the time. They come and say, Maharaj, हमें कोई स्वामी से मिलना है. So I will look at myself. This is also Geruma. हमको कोई स्वामी से मिलना मतलब क्या? वो आप भी स्वामी है? नहीं, मतलब जो स्वामी होते हैं ना, जैसे वो जटा और वो कमंडलू और वो ऐसे कुछ बोलने से ऐसे ऐसे होने चाहिए स्वामी। आप क्या मतलब, आप तो पूरा ये पहन के आप ही हम जैसे ही बात कर रहे हो, आप कौन से स्वामी हो? So Swami matlab, he will talk in a language which you don't understand, basically of no use to you, then he is a Swami. And then you do some pranam, give some pranami, and then all do that. And then, that is why in Kumbh Mela there is so much crowd to see all these kind of people. We don't know whether they are doing spiritual practices or not. Maybe some people are doing, but most of them, they come on the Kumbh Mela day and they are making a big show. And Sri Ramakrishna warned, he said, never believe such type of people who make such a big show, because they are all not true sadhus. So, just to think that this every second, every moment in my life is suffering, that idea does not come easily. It comes because of suffering in several lifetimes. So many births you have suffered, and then somebody comes and praises you, you know that this is just a suffering. And then that idea you should have. And so, Shuddha Chidganam Mana Anadi. Now the idea is, this ignorance is beginningless, but we don't bother about the beginning. But we want to understand that my true nature is embodiment of knowledge or consciousness, which is also beginningless. Vastu yat, that which is beginningless, which is embodiment of knowledge or consciousness, Brahma, that Brahman, Tattvamasi, Tattvam Asi, you are that, Bhavaya Atmani, Atmani Bhavaya. You think, you meditate on this in your mind. Then Shankaracharya says, Shadbhi Urmibihi Ayogi Yogi Hrid Bhavitam Na Karnaihi Vibhavitam Buddhi Avedyam Anavadyam Astiyad Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Urmi means wave. Shadbihi Urmi. A person who is ayogi, who is not, yoga means contact, connection. One of the meanings of yoga, the word yoga, comes from the Sanskrit root word yunj. So one of the meanings of this root is to join or to connect. So a person who is not connected with Shadbihi Urmihi. Urmi means wave. So a person who is not connected with 6 waves. What are the 6 waves? Decay, apakshaya, decay of the body, death, mrityu, vinasha, hunger, that is hunger, and then thirst, ashana, pipasa. Thirst is for drinking liquid, and hunger is for eating solid food. Grief, dukkha, and delusion is moha or brahma. All these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these things are 6 waves in the mind and the body. Hunger is also in the mind. If a person wants, biologically speaking, we can go without food for how many days? 7, 8 days. But if people don't get one time meal, it may not be the main meal also. If they don't get the tea also, they got mad. That is more psychological. It has got nothing biological or physiological in that. So all these decay, your body will wither away. But people are always afraid. One grey hair comes and then they immediately think, oh, budha ho gaya, ya budi ho gayi, kya hoga? And they dye their hair and all that. That is the thing. Okay, I'm not intending it to be specifically directed to somebody, but if it comes, I cannot help it. So, anyway, so you dye the hair and you like, oh, we have to keep the hair black, etc. All these things are different vikara or different kind of states in your mind. In your mind. It has got nothing Most of them are there in the mind only. So you have to understand that you are unconnected with this, or a person which who knows that I am unconnected with these sixfold waves. My true nature Atman is unconnected by these. And who is meditated by Yogi Hrid Bhavitam, in the heart, Hrid of yogis. But na karanaihi vibhavitam. Bhavitam, karanaihi vibhavitam means it is not grasped by the karana or sense organs. You cannot understand Atman just like you understand any other object. It is not grasped by sense organs. Buddhi avedyam, and avedyam, it is unknown. It is not known by intellect or buddhi. And which is anavadyam, which cannot be breached, which cannot be violated. Because that is the true nature. You cannot destroy it. You cannot violate it. That yet, that which is having all these characteristics, that Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Think of yourself as that Brahman, because you are that Brahman. Think of yourself as that, and you meditate on this in your mind. So, we say, some people say, oh, we are mother's child. Now, what does it mean? If you are truly mother's child, this world is delusion. And if this world is delusion, we try to find meaning in this world. Whole our life is our attempt, our entire life is an attempt to understand this life, to find a meaning in this life. And that is wrong. Because how can you find meaning in an illusion? How can you find meaning in that which is false? So somebody comes and tells you something. उसने मुझसे ऐसा क्यों बोला? मैंने क्या किया था? वो मेरे बारे में क्या सोच रही है? क्या सोच रहा है? You constantly try to find meaning in external phenomena, but you will never get any meaning. Because by default, computer language, by default, or by its very nature, it is meaningless. There is no meaning, so you will not find. If we are truly mother's child, what should we think? That this is the Maya which has been created by mother. In a devotee's language, this is Maya which is created by mother. And if I am here, she would know what is my purpose. Complete surrender. So somebody tells you something, it is a praise. Surrender. What we do is, as Sri Ramakrishna gives the beautiful example of the Brahmin and the garden, that if you get praise, you are very happy, then you don't surrender. Praise part is not surrendered, but only all dukkha or suffering is surrendered. So surrender everything. Because if mother is giving you this experience, there may be some reason. Or even if there is no reason, why bother? Because ultimately, who has to bother? Mother has to bother. That is the attitude, or that should be the attitude. But what do? Whenever there is suffering, we run to the photograph or image of mother and say, oh, tumar chile ke ba tumar mehe ki rakom keno koshto diccho. Why are you giving such suffering to your son or daughter? But when you are otherwise okay, then there is no problem. So suffering or happiness, whatever comes because of your karma phala. So that is also ignorance. It is all in the ignorance. So we have to just take it in the stride and understand that there is no meaning here. Trying to find meaning in this world is an absolutely foolish thing. You cannot find any meaning. But all people, what do? Books are written on that. Workshops are conducted. Seminars are conducted. No, how to manage this, how to manage that, etc. Why? Because we try to find meaning in this world. And that never we can find. Bhranti kalpita jagat kalashrayam swashrayam cha sadasat vilakshanam nishkalam nirupamana vaddhi yad brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. Bhranti kalpita jagat kalashrayam. There are, you see, there are different divisions in this world. And this whole world is dependent on that division. And Bhranti, these divisions have been created by Bhranti Kalpita. They have been created by delusion, by wrong understanding, by ignorance. And it has but this has no other support than Swashrayam. They are all actually dependent on Atman. Without Atman, these things will not be existing. Swami Turiyanandaji, when he was staying in Kashi, one of the last things, or the last thing which he told before he passed away, is that Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya. That means what? This Brahman, usually there is a saying, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, Jiva Brahmaiva na Aparaha. That this Brahman is true and the world is false, and Jiva, individual soul, is not different from Brahman. But Turiyanandaji said Brahma Satya Jagat Satya. That means this world is also true and Brahman is also true. How can that be? There cannot be two truths. That means this world is Brahman, but not as we see it. In its true nature, it is Brahman. We have to understand that. Once we understand that, we will have no suffering. And Sadasat Vilakshanam. It is different from the gross and the subtle. It is different from the gross and the subtle. And Nishkalam, it has no parts. Nirupamana, and it has no comparison. You cannot say that Atman is like this, because the moment you say Atman is like this, you will bring something else also. So there is no other thing other than Atman. So there is no comparison. And that you have to understand. That which has no parts, that which has no comparison, that you have to understand. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Please understand that that is Brahman. You are Brahman, and you think of that in your mind. Janma Vriddhi Parinati Apakshaya Vyadi Nasha Vihinam Avyayam Vishwa Shrishti Avavigata Karanam Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. In Sanskrit, there are two types of language. One is Vaidika Sanskrita, the Sanskrit which is used in Vedas. Another one is Vyavaharika Samskrita or Laukika Samskrita. That means Sanskrit which is used in regular use or in practice. The Veda Sanskrit are little different. They have different rules of grammar, etc. Slightly different. And the regular use Sanskrit is little different. So the dictionary which is used for regular Sanskrit, it is generally called Nighantu. Abhidhana is also one word. And that is created by so many people you can make. But the dictionary which is used for Vedic Sanskrit is called Nirukta. Nirukta means that which has never been told. Because we believe, in Sanatana Dharma we believe, that the Vedas were never told. They were realized. They were never written. Swamiji says, by Vedas no books are meant. They are a mass of knowledge. So in this Vedic Sanskrit, to understand what is written in the Vedas, people wrote what is called Nirukta. The last what we get is that which is written by a person called Rishi. Called in India, whatever anything is done by Rishis. Science, history, mathematics, whatever. So the Rishi was Yaska. He writes what is called Nirukta. And he quotes many other people who have written Nirukta in the past. There he talks of one thing called Shadvikara. What is Shadvikara? हाँ, वो तो हिंदी में आपने उसका अनुवाद कर दिया. 6 विकार होते हैं. क्या क्या है वो? Shadvikara. So there are 6 modifications. Jayate asti. Jayate means a person is modification of the body. A person is born. The body is born. Asti, and it comes into being. And then viparinamate. Vardate, then it grows, and then viparinamate. There are modifications, like you get this beard and mustache and all that. So there are modifications. Then apakshiyate. Apakshiyate means uh, it jayate, asti, vardate, viparinamate, apakshiyate means it gets decayed, and nashyati, it is destroyed. So these are the 6 modifications of the body. Now here the same thing is being told in a different way. Janma vriddhi. That is, the body takes birth, then it grows, vriddhi. Parinati, that is, there is development. Viparinamate, there is different kind of modification. Then apakshaya, and waste is there. Vyadhi, then disease comes. Waste means decay, and vyadhi, disease comes, and nasha, it is destroyed. You die. So what is your true nature? It is vihinam. So janma vriddhi parinatati apakshaya vyadhi nashana vihinam. Your body is free. Your body may undergo all these modifications, but your true nature is free from all this. Your true nature does not have these limitations. So when the body dies, you don't die. Vishwa Srishti Avavighata Karanam. And it is the cause of the Srishti, the projection, and also maintenance. And also Ava means maintenance, and Vighata means dissolution, the destruction of this universe. This is the reason why, if there were no consciousness, you would not have seen the universe. Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. So you think of yourself as that Brahman. This is the idea. क्या आप बड़ा दुखित हो गए, क्या चक्कर है? आप अपने मतलब ये सोच रहे ये बॉडी नहीं है तो मैं तो इतना कॉस्मेटिक वगैरह लगा रहा हूँ. अस्त भेद मनपास्त लक्षणम निस्तरंग जलराशि निश्चलम नित्य मुक्तम अविभक्त मूर्ति यत ब्रह्म तत्वमसि भावयात्मनि. So that, what is your true nature? It is Bedam Anapasta Lakshanam. Asta Bedam. There is no difference. One way of practicing Vedanta, and a very wonderful way, is to practice non-difference. And that is very easily doable. It is very easily practicable. You just practice non-difference with all living beings. No difference. And that should come from your heart. You should feel that there is no difference. It's a wonderful way of practicing Vedanta, practical Vedanta. In Swamiji's life we see so many incidents, and there are many other people in whose life we see lot of incidents. So you should practice this non-difference. Generally our societies are based on stratification, on classification. So a person who has got money is a great person. A person who has knowledge is a great person. A person who has lineage, is belonging to some great lineage, that person is also, like all these kings and big people, they have lost their kingdoms, they have lost their money, everything has been taken away by the government, most of it. But still they are, Raja is Raja always. So they have the ceremonial this thing. So the same thing happens at various levels everywhere. In an office, in a company, in an educational institution, everywhere you have this stratification. Only if we practice identity, oneness with everyone, then we will understand what we are talking about. How can you understand Atman if you always practice difference? ओके, विवेक चूड़ामणि का क्लास हो गया, ठीक है, उसके बाद कुछ हो तो आप वहीं रहो, आप हमसे बात मत करो, क्योंकि आप तो, हम तो सन्यासी हैं, आप क्या हो, मूर्ख हो आप. If that kind of stratification is practiced, how does one get the knowledge? You will not get it. So, non-difference, no difference. And For those of you who have not studied Manisha Panchakam, it's a wonderful work, 5 stanza work by Shankaracharya. And what is the incident? So incident is very simple. That So in Varanasi, Shankaracharya was taking bath. Everybody knows now. So he comes out, and then he sees that a Chandala is coming. Who is a Chandala? A person who was supposed to, clean, maybe doing the work of cleaning waste, and also killing animals and using the skin to taking out the skin, all these things. So that Chandala is coming with some meat on his shoulder and some 4 dogs. Swami Ranganathanji, who was the 13th president of Ramakrishna order, he gave a lecture on this, Adi Shankaracharya and an untouchable. And there he tells one wonderful thing. He says that there the Chandala comes, and immediately the incident is like this. It goes, the Chandala comes, and then Shankaracharya says, Gacha Gacha, you go away from my path, because I am a Brahmin. He has already written all his works, and he has told Advaita Vedanta everything, but this is so deep rooted, Brahminism, that he says, go away from my path, get out from my path. And then the Chandala asks, okay, whom do you want to get out? Annamayat Annamayam Athava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. Do you want this Annamaya, this body, to go away from that body? And what is the difference between this body and that body? This is also made of all that bones, flesh, blood, marrow, and urine and everything. And body smells, as a doctor, human body smells horrible. Because if a cow dies and all that, that smell is bearable. But human body smell is, my God, it is not at all bearable. Don't even think. So human body smells like that. Your body also is like that. What is the difference between this body and that body? Or if you want this consciousness to go away from that consciousness, that is also same. So what do you want to go away from? Then he goes on and asks so many, he gives some imagery. He says that what you call, sun's reflection, if it falls on Ganga, and if it falls on the gutter which flows by the house of Chandala, because Chandala cuts skin and all that, so that gutter will be smelling. If sun's reflection falls on that gutter and sun's reflection falls on Ganga, does it change sun? Sun is the same. Similarly, if there is space in a mud jar, and there is space in golden jar, does it change the nature of the space? Just because it is in mud pot, it will be different space, and golden jar different space? No, the same space. So how can you say that there is difference between you and me? So Shankaracharya immediately understood his mistake, and he went and did pranam, and then he wrote 5 stanza, which is considered to be the essence or the summary of Advaita Vedanta. It is called Manisha Panchakam. Panchakam means a group of 5, and here there are 5 stanzas, and he says, Jagrat Swapna Shushuptishu Sputatara Ya Samvid Ujrimbate. Like that he goes on, that consciousness, that which is clearly manifested in all the 3 states of waking, dream state and deep sleep, etc. He says, Ya Brahmadi Pipili Kanta Tanushus Prota Jagat Sakshini. So that which is the witness of this whole world, and it is there in the bodies of Pipilika, means ant, and also Brahma, the 4-faced God who is supposed to create this world and all that. And then he says, now in the biographies written by people, the earliest biography that we get is Shankara Digvijaya, written by a person called Madhva Vidyaranya. He says that Chandala was not actually Chandala, it was Shiva. And that 4 dogs were 4 Vedas. So Ranganathanji says that, you see, our casteism or our stratification, differentiation is so deep rooted that we cannot expect or accept that Shankaracharya bowed down to a person belonging to a lower strata of society. But it could happen. It is very much possible. Why should not we accept? But we will not. Suddenly that person has to become Shiva. This I told here in one class some time back, and that one lady, one devotee, she heard this, and then she somehow could not digest that. Then she said, no, but we can accept that also what has been told by the other people, that it was Shiva. See, that is the level of deep rootedness. So Swamiji says that in our country, religion lives. You go and ask a farmer what is happening in France or what is happening in Germany, political movements and all, or even what is happening in India, that person may not know. But if you ask the farmer, do you know that there is a parliament of religions going on in Chicago? He will say, yes, we have sent our representative. That is India. And India, one Ganesha starts drinking milk, every Ganesha starts drinking milk. All these things happen only in India. And even people who take, you know this, no? People who take this, they will put first one drop. No, you don't take.
I've seen that in your video.
They will put one drop and say that Bhagwan ke vaste have given. That is India. So here, it is quite possible that a Chandala has knowledge of this oneness of Atman and Brahman and gives that knowledge to Shankaracharya, or reminds Shankaracharya of that. So, unless you practice this, Asta Veda means when till the difference go away, Anapasta Lakshanam, until there is whose essence, whose Lakshanam essence is never non-existence. Nistaranga Jalarashi Nishchalam, and which is like a ocean without taranga, without waves. Nitya Muktam, and which is always free. Avibhakta Murtim, and which is without any division. Brahma Tattvamasi, Yat Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. Think of yourself as that Brahman. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.